No, absolutely not. You got it all wrong. No, it doesn't make any sense. You must be kidding me, right? Listen, where did you get your data from? Okay, my friend, now tell me, how does that make you feel if you receive these kind of comments or responses during a meeting? Do you feel uplifted and encouraged to engage in a constructive conversation with the other, or rather a little bit humiliated, or perhaps upset, or maybe enraged? You want to choke the other. I can imagine your responses there. And then now tell me, and let's be honest in here, when was the last time that you did just that to the other person? Okay, look, if you're someone in a leadership position, you may want to start taking care about the way you communicate with people, because otherwise you're in a danger of jeopardizing your work relationships. And with it, you're actually lowering your impact. You're lowering or killing your influence. So what do you do when you disagree? How can you respond? Well, my friend, that is the purpose of today's post. I'm going to give you a few helpful tips. My name is Alena Huberova, and I am something in between a guide, mentor, and coach for women in management. And I help women develop their confidence to tap into their sources of power so that they can succeed in their career, in their leadership, and of course, in their life. So let's have a look at this subject. Aggressive exchange of opinions doesn't work. And it doesn't work because it kills the communication flow. Because when you start to throw a lot of verbal strength at someone, that someone is going to respond. And depending on who you have in front of you, they will respond in 3 different ways. Either they will try to defend themselves. So they may get ready for a battle with you to prove to you that it's them who is right. Or the other may get completely stuck. They freeze in the interaction because they feel so humiliated or overpowered by their own emotions that they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do, so they freeze. Or the person may want to completely remove themselves from the conversation because it's just too much for them to handle. So they will literally leave, or they will change subjects. And one thing is clear, none of these 3 responses are going to help the communication. Yeah, they're going to kill the communication. So I'd love to share with you few little phrases that you can use in times when you want to express your disagreement, and you want to do it tactfully and respectfully. Yeah, so I'll share those few phrases with you, but before I do, there is something that I would love to highlight, and I think this will help you in those situations that you have at the workplace in which you disagree with people. Look, when you're in an interaction with someone, you need to keep in mind that it's 2 people or several people meeting, and they're 2 different people with different set of values, with different views of the world, with different opinions about how things should be done, with different visions, with different experience. They're just 2 different worlds. And each one of them wants to feel heard and acknowledged and seen in the interaction. Just think about you. You want to feel that you can freely express your opinion and people will at least hear it. So this is what we need to do. It may be that you strongly disagree with someone, but that someone, and we're not going to debate over who is right, who is wrong, but that someone deserves at least to be respected and acknowledged. And so these phrases are aiming to do just that. So what you want to do in the situation is to paraphrase. So because that is a lovely way to show the other that you have heard them and you understand their argumentation. So you just sum it up, you paraphrase, and you pick and choose something that you can actually agree with before conveying your own point. Yeah. So these phrases could be, you paraphrase. So let's say, listen, John, so if I understood this correctly, you feel that this project is not worth pursuing because blah, blah, blah. And then you say, yes, I agree with you on, then you pick and choose something that you can actually agree with. And then you expand on your own argumentation. Similarly, you can, instead of, yes, I agree with this thing that you said, you can also say, you're right on this particular point. And now let me share my point of view. Or you can say, I see your point. I understand where you're coming from. And then you convey the point. Yeah, it's really important to acknowledge the other, to show them that you have listened, you have understood their argumentation, and that way they will calm down. They will not have the need to defend anymore because they really feel from you that you're in it. You really want to have a constructive conversation. Yeah, so they no longer feel under threat. They don't need to take out their arms. And they will be more likely to listen to you, okay? So we have, yes, I agree with you on this specific point, or you're right on this. I see your point. I understand where you're coming from. Now, another way to look at the issue is this. Then you convey your point. Or I see now why you might feel this way. Let me share my point of view. Yeah, so you're calming their defenses and they will no longer be triggered and they will be more willing to hear what you have to say. So the communication will be flowing and that's what you want. Yeah. So these are little phrases that you can use. Tell me how it went. But before I conclude, there is something else that I would love to share with you that will also help you in those situations in which you find yourself disagreeing with someone. You may really want to lean into or be or apply curiosity in communication. Listen, you already know what you know, and you don't know what the other person knows. And so curiosity is really important. We should aspire to find out, why is it the person thinks in that particular way? What is the background for them forming that opinion? So with curiosity, if you really feel curious about the other and you start asking questions, that's wonderful for both of you. The other, again, they feel understood. They feel like you really genuinely care about understanding their perspective. And you may benefit as well, because guess what? They may reveal an information that you were not aware of. And that information may enrich your own point of view, to get you thinking in different ways. You never know what you may find out that would enrich your own life. So these are my two little tips for you. So make sure that the other feels heard, acknowledged, and their opinion is respected. We don't need to agree with them, but in the way we communicate, they should feel acknowledged and heard, okay? So the best way to disagree is to agree on a tiny part of their argumentation and only then convey your own argumentation. Yeah, so apply that, plus apply a lot of curiosity in your interactions, and you will see they're going to change completely, and you may grow a lot as a result of that. So that's my tip for you for today. If you need more ideas, more tips on boosting up your influence, on boosting up your communication, please subscribe to my newsletter where I do share tips like that, or talk to me about SHELEADS. SHELEADS cohorts, they start every March and September, so who knows, it may be the program perfect just for you. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video.